All right, so you're getting ready for an occupational analyst interview.
Oh, congrats.
That's exciting. We've got all your RoleCatcher intel right here, the career guide, sample, interview questions, all that good stuff.
Awesome.
And, we're going to dive straight into it, help you ace this thing.
Yeah.
Think of us as like your interview prep squad
Love it.
to help you sound confident, prepared, ready to really impress those interviewers.
Yeah, I think one of the most interesting things about this field is that it's so much more than just like analyzing jobs, you know?
Right.
You're really getting into the human element of an organization, the nuances of a business, and then using that to make recommendations that can really impact the company's success.
It's almost like being a detective,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Uncovering these opportunities to make things run better.
Yeah.
And the guide really emphasizes that.
Absolutely.
You're not just crunching numbers, you're really crafting solutions.
For sure.
Okay, so let's just jump right into those interview questions.
Okay, let's do it.
RoleCatcher gave us 10 common ones, and we're going to unpack each one, give you some insider tips, and even explore like potential follow-up questions to really get you thinking.
Sounds good to me. Let's start with a classic.
Okay.
What inspired you to pursue a career as an occupational analyst?
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's your chance to show them that you're not just there for a job. You're there for a purpose.
Exactly. Don't just say, I like analyzing things. Like really think about what sparked your interest.
Yeah.
Was it a specific project, a mentor who inspired you, just a fascination with how organizations work?
Mm-hmm.
Tell a story.
Yeah, share your story, but make sure you connect it back to the role.
Right.
Highlight how your experiences, even if they're not directly related to occupational analysis, demonstrate those skills that are essential for success in this field.
And this is where I think RoleCatcher's AI is really cool because you can input your experiences into the platform and it'll actually analyze them
Yeah.
and suggest how to best tailor your response to hit those keywords and skills that the employer is looking for. So for example, let's say you're a recent graduate with a degree in psychology,
Okay.
not directly related, but those analytical and problem-solving skills that you honed are super relevant.
Absolutely.
To occupational analysis, the AI will help you make those connections.
I love that.
Okay, now be ready because the interviewer might follow up with something like, how do you see your previous experience translating into this specific role?
Yeah, and that's where those concrete examples come in handy.
Yes.
Be prepared to share specific situations where you had to analyze information, solve problems, or make recommendations based on your findings.
Okay, love it. So question number 2, can you walk us through your process for conducting an occupational analysis? It's a little more technical.
It is.
So it's all about showing that you have a clear methodology.
Exactly. Think of it like explaining a recipe.
I like that.
What are the key ingredients, the steps involved, and what makes your approach unique?
Yes.
And just like with cooking, practice makes perfect.
The guide suggests breaking down your process into clear steps. Data collection and analysis recommendations. You need a concise explanation for each stage.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to use real-world examples from your past experience, even from internships or school projects.
Absolutely. And keep in mind the interviewer might dig a little deeper with questions like, what challenges have you encountered during this process and how did you overcome them?
Ooh, good one.
So this is your chance to showcase your problem-solving skills and your ability to think on your feet.
Okay, moving on to question number 3. How do you stay current on trends and changes in the job market? This is where you show you're a lifelong learner, always eager to stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah, and it's not just about saying that you read industry news.
Right.
These specific name publications like the Occupational Outlook, Handbook, Professional Journals,
Right?
even mention relevant LinkedIn groups or thought leaders that you follow.
Love it. The interviewer might also ask, what are some emerging trends in the field that you find particularly interesting? So be prepared to talk about things like the impact of technology automation or even how changing demographics are shaping the future of work.
Absolutely, and this is another area where RoleCatcher can be super helpful.
Yeah.
Their platform provides insights into industry trends and even suggests relevant resources based on the specific roles that you're interested in.
Okay, let's tackle question number 4. How do you approach working with clients who are resistant to change or new ideas? This is all about demonstrating your ability to navigate challenging situations with diplomacy and finesse.
It's about being a skilled communicator, an active listener, and ultimately a problem solver.
Right.
Remember, the interviewer is looking for evidence that you can handle those tricky situations with grace.
So share a specific example of a time when you had to convince someone to embrace a new idea or approach.
Mm-hmm.
How did you understand their concerns?
Yeah.
Did you use data or logic to persuade them?
Yeah.
What was the outcome?
And don't be surprised if the interviewer throws a curveball with a follow-up question like, what's your strategy for building trust and rapport with clients, especially those who might be initially skeptical of your recommendations?
That's a great point. Building trust is essential, especially when you're proposing changes that might disrupt the status quo.
Right.
It's all about demonstrating your ability to connect with people on a human level.
And this is another area where RoleCatcher's AI can provide valuable feedback.
Okay.
Their platform analyzes your responses and suggests ways to improve your communication style,
Oh, wow.
ensuring that you come across as confident, persuasive, and empathetic.
Okay, now get ready for question number 5.
Yeah.
How do you prioritize competing demands and deadlines in your work?
Yeah.
This one's all about showing you can handle the pressure and juggle multiple priorities like a pro.
Everyone's busy these days. So it's essential to demonstrate that you have a system for staying organized and on top of your workload. The guide emphasizes using a concrete example to showcase your organizational skills.
Exactly. Share a specific situation where you had multiple deadlines or competing projects. How did you approach the situation? Did you use a specific method for prioritizing tasks? Did you communicate effectively with stakeholders?
Right. And here's a potential follow-up question. How do you handle unexpected disruptions or changes in priorities?
Oh, that's a good one.
This is where you can really showcase your flexibility and adaptability.
All right, on to question number 6. How do you ensure that your recommendations are culturally sensitive and appropriate for diverse populations? This is all about demonstrating your cultural intelligence and your ability to work effectively in a diverse environment.
It's crucial to show that you're not just aware of cultural differences, but that you can actively incorporate those considerations into your recommendations.
So share a specific example where you had to tailor your approach or recommendations to a diverse audience. How did you ensure your work was inclusive and sensitive to different cultural perspectives? And be prepared for follow-up questions, like, how do you stay informed about best practices for promoting diversity and inclusion in the workplace? This demonstrates your commitment to continuous learning in this crucial area.
For sure.
And don't forget, RoleCatcher's AI can analyze your responses for cultural sensitivity, providing feedback and suggestions to assure your answers reflect your awareness and commitment to diversity and inclusion.
It's a great tool.
Okay, let's tackle question number 7. How do you measure the effectiveness of your occupational analysis and recommendations? This is where you prove your worth, showing that you're data-driven and focused on results.
It's not enough to just make recommendations. You need to be able to demonstrate their impact.
Right.
So think back to your past experiences. Did you implement any metrics or tracking systems to measure the success of your work?
For example, you could talk about how you tracked the reduction in hiring costs after implementing a new recruitment process,
Exactly.
or how you measured employee satisfaction following the introduction of a new training program. These are the kind of quantifiable results that impress interviewers.
We do.
And remember, RoleCatcher can help you quantify your achievements.
Right.
Their AI can analyze your experiences and suggest ways to present your accomplishments in a data-driven way that resonates with potential employers.
Okay, getting into some potentially tricky territory with question number 8. How would you handle a situation where you disagreed with a client's goals or objectives? Conflict is inevitable in any job. So demonstrating that you can handle these situations professionally is key.
Exactly. The interviewer wants to see that you can navigate disagreements while maintaining a positive and productive relationship with the client.
Right.
So share an example of a time when you had to disagree with a client. How did you approach this situation? Did you listen to their concerns? Did you offer alternative solutions?
Yeah, be ready for follow-up questions like, how do you balance advocating for your professional recommendations while respecting the client's ultimate decision-making authority?
Ooh, that's a good one.
This shows that you understand the importance of boundaries and collaboration.
All right, we're on the home stretch with question number 9. How do you balance the needs of clients with the demands of your organization or team?
It's all about juggling those competing priorities and finding solutions that benefit everyone involved.
Share a real-world example where you successfully navigated this balancing act. Did you have to prioritize a client's urgent request while also ensuring that your team's workload was manageable? How did you communicate effectively and ensure everyone's needs were met?
The interviewer might also ask, how do you handle situations where client demands conflict with your organization's policies or ethical guidelines? This is where you showcase your integrity and your commitment to doing what's right, even when it's tough.
That's a tough one.
It is.
And remember, RoleCatcher can help you analyze your past experiences and identify those that best showcase your ability to manage competing priorities effectively.
Yeah.
Their AI can even suggest ways to structure your response to highlight the specific skills that are most valued by the employer.
Awesome.
Okay, final question, and it's a big one. How do you approach working with clients who are experiencing personal or professional challenges that may impact their career development? This is all about showing empathy, compassion, and a genuine desire to help others succeed.
It's about going beyond the technical aspects of the job and recognizing that you're working with real people
Yeah.
who have lives and challenges outside of work.
So share an example of a time when you demonstrated empathy and provided support to a client who was going through a difficult time. Did you offer resources? Did you connect them with support services? And be prepared for follow-up questions like, how do you maintain professional boundaries while still offering support and guidance to clients who might be struggling? It's a delicate balance, but it's one that's essential to master in this role.
It is.
It is. And this is where I
Go
think
ahead.
RoleCatcher's AI is really helpful for this. It can actually analyze your answers
Oh, wow.
for things like tone and language, making sure that you're striking that right balance of professionalism and empathy. It's like having a virtual coach, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Help you fine-tune your approach to these sensitive situations.
Yeah.
Okay, so we really drilled down into those 10 common interview questions, but I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier.
Okay.
The importance of showing that you're not just knowledgeable, but also a continuous learner. This job market is always changing,
Yeah.
but how do you stay ahead of the game?
Yeah, the career guide mentions some great starting points. Professional organizations like the Society for Human Resource Management or the Association for Talent Development.
Okay.
They offer conferences, webinars, even certifications that can boost your credibility.
And don't underestimate the power of networking, attending industry events, connecting with people on LinkedIn. It's all about building relationships and staying informed. You never know. That person you chat with at a conference might be your future employer.
Exactly.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit and talk about something we haven't touched on yet. Job restructuring the guide mentions that occupational analysts might be involved in this process.
Yes.
That could be a pretty sensitive topic.
It is restructuring often involves making tough decisions that impact people's roles and responsibilities, even their employment.
Right.
So it's crucial to approach this with a deep understanding of the ethical considerations involved, things like transparency, fairness, and providing support to those affected by the changes.
Exactly. It's not just about numbers and efficiency. It's about people's lives and livelihoods. And that brings us back to the core of what an occupational analyst does. You're not just analyzing jobs. You're analyzing how people work best, how to create a more efficient and supportive work environment for everyone.
Absolutely. And that's why the interview is so important.
Right.
It's your chance to show the employer that you understand this human-centric approach and that you have the skills and empathy to make a positive impact.
But now let's talk a bit more about how RoleCatcher can be your secret weapon throughout this entire process, beyond interview prep. You have this amazing resume builder that uses AI to optimize your application materials for specific job descriptions.
I love that.
It's like having a personal resume expert tweaking your resume to make it stand out from the crowd.
And their AI-powered matching system is truly impressive.
Yeah.
It analyzes your skills and experience and then matches you with relevant job openings, even suggesting potential career paths you might not have considered.
It's like having a personalized career GPS guiding you towards opportunities that align with your strengths and aspirations. Okay, so we've talked about the job market, how to nail those interview questions, and even how RoleCatcher can help you every step of the way.
It's been a comprehensive deep dive, and we hope our listeners are feeling more confident and prepared to tackle those occupational analyst interviews.
Absolutely. But before we wrap things up completely, there's one more nugget of wisdom from the career guide that I think is worth highlighting.
Okay.
It mentions that continuous learning is absolutely crucial in this field.
It is.
The guide even suggests looking into specific certifications like the Certified Occupational Analyst, COA, or the Certified Compensation Professional, CCP.
That's a fantastic point. Earning one or more of those certifications demonstrates your commitment to professional excellence.
Right.
And can give you a significant edge in a competitive job market. It's like saying, hey, I'm serious about this, and I've invested the time and effort to master my craft.
It's a signal to potential employers that you're dedicated to staying ahead of the curve and that you're committed to ongoing professional development. And speaking of development, let's talk about something that's becoming increasingly important in every industry, technology. The guide mentions that occupational analysts use various software tools for data analysis, and RoleCatcher itself is a testament to how AI is transforming job searching and career development.
It's fascinating to see how technology is changing the landscape of work, and it's something that you should definitely be aware of as you prepare for your interviews.
The interviewer might ask you about your experience with specific software or ask how you see technology impacting the future of work.
Yeah.
So it's worth thinking about those questions in advance.
Absolutely. And even if you don't have specific experience with every tool out there showing that you're adaptable and eager to learn new technologies, will make a positive impression.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground today, and I think we've equipped our listener with a comprehensive toolkit for acing those occupational analyst interviews.
We have.
But before we let you go, there's one more crucial aspect of interview prep that we want to emphasize: research.
That's a great point. It's essential to thoroughly research the companies and specific roles that you're applying for. Go beyond just reading the job description. Delve into their websites, check out their social media presence, and look for news articles or industry reports that mention them.
Understanding a company's culture values and recent initiatives will allow you to tailor your answers
Right.
and demonstrate that you're genuinely interested in working for that specific organization.
And don't forget to research the interviewers themselves if possible.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Check out their LinkedIn profiles to get a sense of their background and experience. This can help you establish a connection and show that you've taken the time to learn about the people you'll be meeting with.
It's all about demonstrating that you're not just looking for any job. You're looking for the right fit.
Right.
And research is a key part of finding that perfect match.
Well said. And remember, thorough preparation is the key to confidence. The more you know about the role, the company, and the industry, the more relaxed and confident you'll feel during the interview.
And that confidence will shine through, making you a more compelling and memorable candidate.
Absolutely. So let's shift our focus to something that often gets overlooked in interview prep: the power of storytelling. The guide emphasizes the importance of using concrete examples and anecdotes to bring your experiences to life.
That's a great point. Instead of just listing your skills and accomplishments, weave them into engaging stories
Yeah.
that showcase your personality and make you stand out from the crowd.
Think back to those challenging situations you faced, the projects you successfully completed, the times when you went above and beyond. These are the stories that will capture the interviewer's attention and leave a lasting impression.
And don't be afraid to inject a little humor or personality into your stories. Remember, interviews are about connecting with people on a human level. Let your authentic self shine through.
Absolutely. Authenticity is key. And speaking of authenticity, let's talk about a topic that can be a bit tricky to navigate during interviews: salary expectations.
Ah, yes, the dreaded salary question. It's important to approach this one strategically and professionally.
The guide suggests researching salary ranges for similar roles in your area,
Okay.
so you have a realistic idea of what to expect. Websites like Glassdoor and Salary.com can be helpful resources for this.
And don't be afraid to ask for a salary range that reflects your worth and experience. Remember, you're a valuable asset, and you should be compensated accordingly.
That's right. And if you're asked about your salary history, be prepared to provide accurate information, but also be ready to explain any discrepancies or reasons for seeking a higher salary in your new role.
Transparency and confidence are key when discussing salary expectations. Now, let's switch gears and talk about something that can often make or break an interview: body language.
That's a great point. Nonverbal communication plays a huge role in how you're perceived.
Right.
The guide highlights the importance of maintaining eye contact, sitting up straight, and using open and engaging body language.
Think of it this way. You want to project confidence and enthusiasm, not nervousness or disinterest.
Exactly. And smiling can go a long way.
Yeah.
It shows that you're approachable, friendly, and genuinely interested in the conversation.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground, but there are a few more tips from the guide that I think are worth mentioning. First, be prepared to ask thoughtful questions at the end of the interview.
Asking questions shows that you're curious, engaged, and that you've been paying attention throughout the conversation.
Think of questions that demonstrate your interest in the company, the role, or even the interviewer's own experience.
And avoid asking questions that could easily be answered with a quick Google search. You want to show that you've done your homework and that you're genuinely interested in learning more.
Another important tip is to send a thank you note after the interview. It's a simple gesture, but it shows that you're appreciative of their time and consideration.
And it gives you another opportunity to reiterate your interest in the role and highlight key points from the conversation.
Okay, last but not least, remember to take a deep breath and relax. Interviews can be nerve-wracking, but try to approach them as a conversation, an opportunity to connect with someone and share your story.
That's a great point. Focus on being authentic, engaging, and showcasing your passion for the field. And remember, every interview is a learning experience. Even if you don't get the job, you'll gain valuable insights that can help you improve for next time.
Absolutely. And now let's bring it back to RoleCatcher one last time. Remember, their AI-powered platform can be your secret weapon throughout this entire process, from crafting your resume to practicing your answers to getting discovered by employers.
It's a game changer for anyone navigating the job market, especially in a competitive field like occupational analysis.
So if you haven't already, check out RoleCatcher and see how their AI can help you take your career to the next level.
It's an investment in your future that could pay off in a big way.
All right, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive into the world of occupational analyst interviews.
We've covered a lot of ground, from understanding the role to really mastering those tough interview questions.
Yeah.
But I think now it's time to shift gears a bit and talk about what comes after the interview.
Yeah, because, you land the interview, that's just the first step.
Exactly.
What happens after you've, wowed them with your answers and you're waiting to hear back?
Yeah, the guide actually touches on this.
Okay.
It emphasizes the importance of following up.
Right.
But in a way that's both professional and memorable.
So no, frantic emails every hour
Exactly.
asking, have you made a decision yet?
Not a good look. A well-crafted thank you note is definitely a must. Reiterating your interest, highlighting something specific you discussed. But they also mention something interesting.
Okay. I like this. Tell me more.
Think beyond the standard thank you.
Okay.
Depending on the role and the company, consider a follow-up that adds value.
Yeah.
So maybe you saw an article relevant to their work, or you had an additional thought about a challenge they mentioned.
So you're not just saying thank you. You're showing that you're already thinking like you're part of the team.
Exactly.
I love that.
It's about demonstrating that you're not just looking for a job, you're looking for a place to contribute and grow.
Yeah, that proactive thinking is huge.
It is.
Okay, so let's step back for a minute and talk about kind of the bigger picture, the career path of an occupational analyst.
Okay.
The guide mentions that this role can really be a springboard to other exciting opportunities.
It's true. As you gain experience, you might specialize in a particular area like compensation and benefits training and development, or even organizational design.
So it's not a dead-end job. It's really a launchpad for growth
Yes.
and exploration within that whole HR and talent management field. That's exciting.
Absolutely. And those skills that you develop as an occupational analyst,
Yeah.
critical thinking, problem-solving, communication, these are valuable assets that can really open doors to leadership positions down the line.
It's all about seeing this role as the beginning of a journey, not just the destination.
I love that.
Now, before we wrap things up, I want to address something that I know a lot of people struggle with, imposter syndrome, that feeling of, I'm not good enough or I'm going to be found out.
Oh, yeah. It's so common.
It can be a real confidence killer, especially when you're going into an interview.
Yeah, and the guide actually touches on this indirectly when it talks about highlighting your achievements and showcasing your unique strengths.
Right.
Remember, you were chosen for this interview for a reason. They see something in you, so own your accomplishments and let your confidence shine.
And if those negative thoughts creep in, reframe them. So instead of, I'm not experienced enough, think I'm eager to learn and contribute.
Exactly.
Instead of, what if I mess up, think I prepared and I'm going to give you my best shot.
It's all about shifting that internal dialogue from self-doubt to self-belief.
Okay, so to wrap things up, what are our key takeaways from our deep dive into the world of the occupational analyst interview?
All right, let's do it.
First, we talked about the importance of understanding the role and the value that you bring to the table.
Yeah.
It's not just about analyzing jobs. It's about improving how people work.
We broke down those 10 common interview questions, giving you strategies and insights to really craft compelling answers that showcase your skills, your experience, and that human-centric approach.
And we emphasize the power of preparation, researching the company, practicing your answers, and even using those tools like RoleCatcher's AI to get personalized feedback and guidance.
But beyond the technical aspects, we also talked about the importance of confidence, authenticity, and continuous learning qualities that will serve you well throughout your career journey.
So as you go into that interview, remember, you got this.
You do.
You're prepared, you're capable, and you have a passion for making a positive impact. Let that shine through, and you'll be well on your way to landing that dream job.
We're excited for you in your journey in this fascinating and impactful field.
All right, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.